Soon we are flying high over the azure waters of the Caribbean Sea.
I mean, outperforming seems like it should be so simple, but the problem with that, or even if I just buy the top performers, and not even buy the mediocre or the low-performing ones, obviously I'm going to outperform. And yet you look at that research that says that doesn't happen. And of course, the reason it doesn't happen is today's dogs are sometimes tomorrow's great turnaround success stories. And those that are flying high are the stories of how they crash and burn. So there is no way to know what is going to happen with specific stocks, and it is just way too easy to guess wrong. And those that are flying high are the stories of how they crash and burn. So there is no way to know what is going to specific stocks, and it is
That there are times I'm really flying high in my survivorship, and there are other times where I get really anxious and I have periods. I don't know why. I can't.
Our budget. Cutting the deficit by gutting our investments in innovation and education is like lightening an overloaded airplane by removing its engine. It may make you feel like you're flying high at first, but it won't take long before you feel the impact.
So Goldilocks is flying high, and every retailer wants to carry it. I mean, the brand is so hot. And sure enough, Walmart calls, and Walmart is begging for Goldilocks. I mean, imagine Goldilocks. So Goldilocks is flying high, and
I'll be flying high!
07. А не знаешь, как будет 0 на английском. Это легко. 0. А агент 007? 007. А счет в футболе 0-0? 0-0. А если в теннисе 40-0? 40 love. А если крестики-нолики? Nuts and crosses. А если крестики-нолики? Nuts and crosses. А если в номере телефона 8908, как у Джеймса Бонда, 8908? Да откуда ты это все?
Look at it and you're like, oh, I don't want to see it. What do we call them? Flashy. Yeah, it's flashy colors.
It was like a bridge between the crusty old dukes who owned Dorset and the young high-flying rogue traders with their moody Porsches and bleating Armani laptops.
I mean, you're not going to become a parson or a barrister or a pedagogue when you're not a country gentleman.
High-flying pedagogue might yet be brought to earth.
The track established, things start to move up a gear with the construction of the temporary facilities about 6 weeks out from the racing. Much of this is prefabricated away from site, reducing the setup time in Monaco itself. Relying on a team of highly skilled full-time engineers to keep on track, some 600 trucks carry grandstands, pit garages, barriers, footbridges and more into the country, completely transforming it. The track established, things start to move up a gear with these about 6 weeks out from the racing.
I'm stepping it up a gear, going straight to the top.
But season 2, holy cow, man! The production, the stage, the lighting, the energy, just stepped up a whole nother gear. It's really exciting. So. Yeah. Really fun.
What were the conversations going in?
Did exist in Mark. I've always enjoyed and admired in a way the gentle quietism of his movies, but now there is something really at stake, I think, and so it's stepped up a gear, and Sissako is really saying something about what he sees as the despoiling,
which I've just finished web series 4.6. The next thing I'm going to talk about is series 2 of Orphan Black, which I've just finished watching. I've been really enjoying this series. Stepped up a gear since the first series. I've been loving what's been happening with the characters I've been introduced. I don't want to be,
I think, and so it's stepped up a gear, and Sissako is really saying something about what he sees as the despoiling and the destruction of his own homeland, Mali, by the jihad.
So there's a big opportunity for us to step up a gear there, about a third opportunity to interact with government. When they
Since back in the day, before the motherfucker moved up a gear, I get some people.
You want to go up a gear? Yeah.
It's out. I can't do a U-turn.
Yes, but
Where possible, do a U-turn.
If you do a U-turn, it's actually a safe place for a U-turn.
Maybe just do a U-turn. Just shut up. It'll come back in a minute.
You can make a U-turn down there and head back to the highway.
You'll get used to life in the slow lane.
Maybe we can show Zoom what life is like in the slow lane.
An attorney in LA, living life in the fast lane.
In the slow lane, ladies.
Don't you get caught sitting in the slow lane for too long.
Gail?
Tops at Barrington Seminary, that's like being first in the slow lane.
Life in the slow lane.
She fell asleep at the wheel.
They couldn't give a shit if you fall asleep at the wheel and go head on into a bus.
While I'm at the wheel, it's my car. So stop that dog dribbling on my seats. All right?
At this critical juncture for the Empire, we have a drunkard at the wheel.
Okay, I cried.
Never call us again.
Little shepherd boy who cried wolf twice. So the third time, no one believed him.
You are the troubled neighborhood boy who cried wolf.
Said never cry wolf. And people won't believe you if something really happens.
But an old leopard can't change his spots.
Who am I kidding? A leopard doesn't change her spots.
Leopard cannot change his spots, then may we also do good who are accustomed to doing evil. We can't change ourselves, and that is Jesus' point.
I guess a leopard can't change his spots.
For example, a stitch in time saves 9. A leopard cannot change its spots. All that glitters. And once
leopard cannot change his spots, then
The Bible is the book that taught us that a leopard can't change its spots, that a bird to the ends of the earth, or at least the ends of Britain. The King James Bible is the book that taught us that a leopard can't change its spots, that a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, that a wolf in sheep's clothing is harder to spot than you would imagine, and how annoying it is to have a fly in your ointment. In fact,